What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for episode 15 of Dragon Ball Daima, man. We are finally back, ladies and gentlemen. Another great episode, man. This one, I'm gonna be honest, while this was obviously a great episode, had a lot of great animation in it, man. One big major thing I had a problem with was why the fuck didn't Goku and Vegeta go Super Saiyan earlier? Like, obviously the obvious answer is because, like, oh, they wanted to have the big, surprise, and we're, Pansy's mom and the rest of his squad from the third team were all coming there for the epic save, man. Fanfare and all that. And listen, it was cool. It was a cool moment, man. I really dug it, man. How they came in there, man, with the cavalry and all that. It was a really cool part of the episode. But the entire time before that, I'm just wondering, like, you guys are clearly getting overwhelmed by their numbers. Why aren't you going Super Saiyan and just eliminating everyone in one go? You could have just doubled their troops and make it a little bit easier. Like, I don't know why Goku and Vegeta were so dead set on just staying in their base forms of the entire episode till the very end. Once the coward comes, then Goku goes Super Saiyan, and then once, as I expected, just demolishes everybody. Like, why weren't you going Super Saiyan earlier, dude? Like, you were clearly struggling. You know how dangerous their guns are. Why aren't you powering up? Not even Kaioken? Like, we couldn't even get a Kaioken or something, dude? Like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else who watched this episode in Daima, if Geek to mention this or anyone else mentioned this, but that was just one thing that kept bugging me throughout the episode. It was like, why aren't you guys going Super Saiyan? To make this easier on yourselves? Why are you stubbornly, dead set on making this fight harder for you than it has to be? Not like y'all are low on ki, especially Vegeta. He had just had one of the bugs, so I don't know why you guys just don't go Super Saiyan 1. I'm not saying go Super Saiyan 3 and just go crazy, man, but like Super Saiyan 1 or a little bit, I don't know why you don't do it. Well, whatever the case may be, man. This was a great episode overall, man, with a lot of fantastic animation. There was a lot of great cuts this episode, man, I must say. And, yeah, man. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's just jump right in. So we start the episode off. Also, guys, by the way, as you guys may know, WrestleMania Sunday is today, night 2 of WrestleMania 41, so review gets delayed. That's why, but I think I'll be good. But anyway, as I was saying, so we pick up the episode right where we left it last week with Goku and the others getting chased down by Gomon's crew, and we get to go with Gomon real quick. He says, "Tell everything we got!" Like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in previous reviews as well, but I forgot the dude's name who voices King Gomon and Daima, but he is easily the MVP of this dumb man. He is so funny. I love his performance. He is just incredible. All of these gendarmeries are firing on. You got planes firing their turrets at him, guys chasing them by foot, just shooting their guns, man, as they're all just dodging bullets. Although Bulma seems to have gotten hit, or at the very least grazed by one of their bullets. I can't really. Oh, actually, I landed on it perfectly. It looks like it just grazed her, but it might have touched her as well. But I'm not entirely sure. So either they just missed it or just grazed her. I imagine it probably just missed her, or maybe grazed her a little, considering how it affects Goku and Vegeta. Imagine because Bulma was human. I imagine probably would have been way worse on her. So I'm assuming it just grazed her, if not barely dodged her. We get this really nice cut of animation where Goku is like deflecting them with his power pole, like it's a fucking lightsaber. We got a really nice cut there of him deflecting the beams as he's trying to get back over to Glorio, but he ends up getting hit and falls down to the ground, crawling back to the power pole. And just when he's about to grab it, he gets blasted again, which actually got a couple impact frames too as well. Anyway, 3 planes start to fall back. One of them ends up going back around while another one turns left. Not sure if they were all going to retreat, and then 2 of them wanted to check out and check the area or whatnot. But whatever the case may be, Goku's like, "Why, you little!" and then goes up there and uses the power pole to destroy one of the gendarmerie planes. Why he doesn't use this tactic more throughout the episode, I do not know, but I mean, different with all the gunfire, probably why, but I'm kind of surprised Goku didn't use this tactic at least one other time to take out another one of the gendarmes, because it clearly works. I'm assuming he went through the way it looks makes me think he went through the windows, but he might have went through the actual hull of the ship or where the engine is, and that's what powered it down. But anyway, whatever the case may be, Vegeta's like, "Drat! I'm tired of waiting behind cover. These there little pea-shooters can do nothing to a Saiyan like me." Goes in there, man, takes out a bunch of the gendarmes, but ends up getting a handful of attacks straight from in point blank range from one of the turrets of one of the plane, which obviously sends Vegeta's ass right back down to the floor. He has Goku from one of the bugs, which he takes, and once again he is now, and which of course restores his energy. Once again, I ask, why didn't they go Super Saiyan at all, especially now since Vegeta was full strength once again? I don't know know why he didn't go Super Saiyan, especially given, you know, as he says right after this, he says like, "Drat these cowards and their guns. What a pathetic way to fight." Like, I'm surprised he didn't like just go Super Saiyan just off that alone and then just take everyone out. Like I said, I do not know why they were so insistent on staying in their base form until the very end of the episode, man. I just do not understand that. But whatever the case may be. Actually, one other thing I want to mention, guys, real quick before we continue on. Did anyone else think when Vegeta mentioned about cowards and their guns? Did anyone else instantly think about the Dark Knight Returns when Batman said a very similar line when he cracked open that shotgun near the end of it? Or was that just me? I don't know. But that eventually came to my mind once when Vegeta mentions cowards and guns. Anyway, we head back over to King Gomon after Goku mentions how this is actually kind of tough since they're still in kids form. He's like, "Yes! And you will be like that forever! Blah, 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 blah. You're kids, whatever." So as he's going through the thing, we see a shot Pansy where he said, "This miscreant is from the third demon world as well." And then they stumble on Hymus, and King Gomon instantly recognized that he has the third eye on his belt buckle, which I don't think they actually meant that Hymus mentioned he had the third eye on his belt. I think he just said like, "Oh yeah, it's an eye that moves, isn't it cool?" I don't think he ever mentioned anything about it being like the third eye or anything, so I think this is all new information. I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've got mention of this is indeed the third eye. So he's freaking out about this, and how the hell Goku even, how the hell these got the third, how these riffraff from the third demon world man to get their hands on it. And we get another great cut with Goku where he uses the power pole. I know we just said like he doesn't really use the power pole again to take out the ship, which I was kind of wrong because he kind of doesn't here, but I thought this cut was really cool where he takes out some guys and then uses the power pole to extend all the way up to another one of the ships to blast before he blasted a smithereen. Effects animation here looked really good as well, man. And this animation here looked really good for this cut, man, especially the effects. So this is when the rest of the goons start to finally retreat, and Goku and the others go further into the to the kingdom, into the first demon world, where they're now like inside like the main city area of the kingdom of the first demon world. They said the guy that's on the lookout sets the alarm that there's intruders coming. Everyone gets suited up before we head back to King Gomon. And Dagasu, he's kind of not really convinced that this is indeed the third eye, and King Gomon says like, "I know it because I remember I saw on the head of King Abura with my own eyes." And then the Slimer Dagasu had me kind of cracking. It's like, doesn't every eyeball look like that, sire? but King Gomon is convinced that this is indeed the third eye. He asks him like how he found it, and he's like, "How the hell am I supposed to know?" And then he tells him to go figure out what's going on with it and to go fetch the belt. And he says, "How do I do it?" "Be slick!" I love the way he said that. "Be slick!" No, that's good. That's definitely gonna be that is definitely gonna be the one line that I will always remember from King. When I think of King Gomon, I'm going to think of "Be slick!" Like I said, dude, this dude is easily MVP of the Daima dub, man. He is so fucking funny. So Dagasu fucks up to figure out how the hell he's gonna get the belt back, and this is when we get a narration on what the third eye even is. We switch to 60x9, man. We have a different narrator narrating this, man. Who I have to say, man, I fucking love the dude's voice. I don't know who's the narrator for this. I haven't seen any tweets on Friday or Saturday of any of the new cast members for him or the cockroach guy. So I don't know who voiced these characters. If any of you guys know, if there's been any of you confirmation of voice actors confirming who's voiced any of these characters, please let me know in the comments because I would love to know, especially the narrator guy. This dude has such an amazing voice, man. So he basically explained that this is a thing that all the demon world kings would use, that it would ornament them and on top of their heads, man. And then eventually we find out that Deborah was the one behind this, where he like hired this like assassin cockroach looking guy to take the third eye and to take it to the third demon world and hide it so that he could take over the kingdom. Which is what he does, man. I was gonna say, I also love the guy voice, the cockroach guy, he was pretty cool too. I don't know who voices the new cockroach guy, but I really liked his voice as well. So shout out to his voice actor as well. Seriously, like I said, guys, if you guys know, if y'all did see any tweets about confirming who's voicing the cockroach guy and the narrator, please let me know in the comments because I want to know. I want to follow these guys. So the cockroach guy, after getting chased down by some of the gendarmerie planes, makes it all the way and like makes it to sidestep the Kraken. He makes it all the way back to the third demon world. He lands his ship. He opens up the box to see the third eye. And he's like, that fucking laugh. He does that. I love that laugh, man. So then he ends up being with some random brute from the third demon world, gets his head clubbed in, and then his communicator starts to go, which is the same one that we see Glorio using, which the guy just stomps on his foot, and Deborah's like, what the hell happened to my guy? He's like, oh, whatever, no. And I was gonna say, I really like the way this whole section of the episode looked in terms of like lighting. I really like the ways that the really harsh shadows that we see in this portion of the episode, this flashback, man. Looked really great, man. So shout out to the animators that work on this part of the episode. And then the narrator mentions, of course, that about Deborah getting eaten alive by Boo, and then of course King Gomon took over, and then we actually get to see Hymus, because after he got like his head clubbed in, man, he obviously let go of the box, which rolled over into like some foliage, where we see Hymus go in there, where he found the third eye and shoved it into his belt. And then Aaron mentioned that now the third eye takes a humbler role as an ornamental belt buckle. So the gendarmes' arsenal forces return, and once again, Goku and the others are ready for cover as these guys are just continually blasting at him. We then Goku, Supreme Kai, and Neva get behind some cover, and Goku asks Neva if he can offer some assistance to them. He's like, nah, bro, this is all up to you. I'm only here to grant your wish. That's it. I'ma just sit here and chill. So while all this is going on, we get over to Daimus. So after all this going, we get back to Hymus, where he's like just chilling behind some cover, and then this woman, who I'm assuming is part of that Dagasu hired to, gain the belt. She's like, hey there, I'll give you a smooch for your belt. He's like, why would I want that? And then he says he'll give her the belt, but he wants her hat. And she's like, oh, okay. Gives her the hat, and Tyva's like, yeah. And then hands on the belt. Then she looks into the camera and says like, well, I got what I wanted. All it took was my pride. I don't know what the hat has to do with your pride. I don't know. Maybe she just was shocked she didn't have to give up any sort of favors, if you know what I'm saying, for this belt. But, yeah. That was pretty funny. So they continue on where eventually Goku and Vegeta make a forward assault, and we get this really nice shot of Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo charging right towards them when they're all flying above them as they're coming right down them, fire energy blast, and Goku is extending the power pole. We also get a really nice another really good cut of the power pole when he extends it, where he trips out some of the guys. Man, it looked really good as well. I like that cut as well. And while this is going on, of course, Bulma is cheering on her man, which you love to see. And then this, ladies and gentlemen, is when the gendarmerie bring out the fucking tanks. They have officially gotten the full 5-star most wanted ranking in GTA right now because they have now brought in the tanks. So they start charging. So then the tank starts firing at them. Which also, like I said, the effects work here on the lightning here for this tank was really good. I think it was CG though. I think they might have used CG, or bits of it might have been CG while part of it was hand drawn. I could be wrong that one, but I don't know, it kind of looked like it was done with CG, but I could be wrong about that one. But either way, man, like I said, it looked great. So then the gendarmeries are on basically both sides of them, where you got the tanks in the front, and then you got the gendarmes on the side of them, just firing at them to keep them in place so that they're staying up for the tanks to finish them off. Goku there try to dodge them, and then the tanks start to fire off another attack, which we clearly know will be deadly to them, because the last time they did it, they were all like electrocuted and shocked, and it took them down for a while. But right before the tank is about to fire, the third demon world's king shows up, and Pansy's dad shows up there with the cavalry, dropping grenades that drop the tank, tank's cannon downward, so it doesn't actually hit them. And then of course they show up, man. They get more of like an orchestrated or instrumental version of the Daima OP, which I also really liked as well, man. And everyone is like, yeah, they're here, man. Like, it was a pretty cool moment. It was a high moment of the episode. But I just don't understand why Goku and Vegeta didn't go Super Saiyan once during this entire episode. Up until they showed then Goku goes Super Saiyan, of course they make quick work of these guys. Like I said, I don't know why Goku and Vegeta weren't going Super Saiyan at least once or twice during this battle, and I feel like there were multiple occasions where it would have called for it, but I don't know, that's just me. And then like one of the guys throw one of the grenades. Again, we get this really nice slow-mo shot of like the cannon from the tank and the grenades coming right toward each other. They make contact, the little circuit they were connected with the grenade there splits off. One of them manages to get into the barrel of the tank, which obviously destroys the man, but the blast still blasted their helicopter out of the sky. I was like, God damn. But we see the smoke clears, of course, they're all still alive with not even a scratch on them from the blast. Okay, whatever. So then this is when they all start going off and they're fighting. Goku finally goes Super Saiyan, and we end the episode off with King Goma freaking out about this whole thing, and then Dagasu, basically like, we still have the Gendarmerie Force. He's like, yes, right. Like, they still got the knockoff Ginyu Force, so I guess we're going to see them next week. And we end the episode off with Pansy's dad mentioned, I guess your friend needed backup after all, which is one thing I was kind of curious about while I was watching the episode. Like, wait, did Pansy in the previous episode say, hey, tell my dad he doesn't need to come, we're good? And then he still came anyway? Like, did he get, I'm assuming he got the message, but they decided anyway to still, you know, go over to the first demon world to help out his daughter, I guess. So, which I guess worked out in their favor, because for some reason Goku just forgot they could go Super Saiyan throughout most of this episode, I guess. That still bugged me, man. I don't know why, I don't know why they weren't going Super Saiyan way earlier on in the episode. But I digress. Anyway, man, this was a great episode, man, with some great art animation in it, man. Looking forward to the following episodes, man, and, yeah, look forward. We've got only about 5 episodes left, so it's not going to be long until we get to the next really big episode that I'm going to be doing a reaction for that you guys probably already know about, but I won't say anything for spoilers anyway. Anyway, guys, overall, this episode, 8.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me so you feel like it. Links are across below, and there's also back for more. See you guys next time.